At the end of the last mystery, Holmes said his next mystery would involve a bird. That is a lie. Maybe there was a bird in an earlier draft of this story, although I do not know how that would be possible, unless the bird was a murdering chicken of doom. Argofont Book Review, Argofont Book Review. A terrified woman named Helen Stoner comes to Holmes, begging him for help. She lives with her villainous stepfather, Dr. Grimesby Roylott. He's a violent man who's been convicted of murder in the past. He threw a blacksmith into a stream last week, so clearly he has not reformed. His only friends are a band of gypsies who live on his property, and his exotic pets, a baboon and a cheetah. I can't believe this guy lets a cheetah run around his property freely. It's amazing no one's died yet. I take that back. Someone has died, but not because of the cheetah. The estate of Helen's mother gives Roylott about £750 a year. The will says he has to divide the money equally with the daughters if they get married. It's sort of like the earlier Holmes mystery, a case of identity. The step-parents have a very strong motive for keeping their daughters single or dead. Please, Holmes people, stop writing wills like that. Helen's twin sister Julia died shortly after getting engaged. Her room is right next to Roylott's. She complained about hearing whistling in the dead of night. One night, Julia screamed. Helen rushed into the room, where she heard a low whistle, soon followed by a metal clanging noise. Julia was convulsing in the throes of death. Her dying words were about the band! The Speckled Band! I'm sure she didn't mean to make her final words into a puzzle, but as we'll see, there are several other things she could have said, which would have been more direct, more accurate, and more useful. Not, Speckled Band, oh! The police searched thoroughly, but they have no idea how Julia died, or how a murderer could have entered and left the locked room. The case went unsolved. That was 2 years ago. Helen recently got engaged. Roylott made a transparent excuse for her to move into the room where Julia died. Just last night, she heard the low whistle, and she's worried she'll be killed, just like her sister. After Helen leaves, Roylott shows up in person to threaten Holmes. Holmes ignores him and starts talking about the weather. It's great. I like how Holmes is totally unfazed when a giant man bends a fireplace poker in half right in front of him. Holmes goes to the estate and searches Helen's room. The iron bars on the window appear to be quite firm. Although we just learned Roylott can bend metal with his bare hands, so maybe they're not as good of a defense as one would think. There's a small ventilator which connects her room to Roylott's. Next to it is a curious bell rope that doesn't connect to anything. In Roylott's room, Holmes finds a saucer of milk, a small whip, and a large iron safe, among other things. Holmes is pretty sure he knows the mystery solution now, but he insists that he and Watson spend the night in the room to make sure. In the middle of the night, a poisonous snake appears. It enters the room through the ventilator and starts going down the bell pull. Holmes beats the snake with a cane. Holmes explains Roylott normally keeps the snake in the metal safe. That's why there was a metal clanging on the night of the murder. It was him putting the snake away. He uses the whip to control it, and the snake is partially trained. It knows to go back to Roylott for a saucer of milk whenever he gives a low whistle. Snakes don't usually drink milk or respond to whistling, but this one does, because otherwise there wouldn't have been a mystery. Roylott's plan was to keep putting the snake into his stepdaughter's room until it eventually killed Helen. His plan backfires, and the angry snake kills him instead. The end. Post-story follow-up. This is the 8th Sherlock Holmes short story. It's one of the most popular ones. I find that interesting because it comes up in Case 2 of Great Ace Attorney Adventures. You can find my video walkthrough for that game on my other YouTube channel. Great Ace Attorney mentions this case in order to mercilessly insult how bad it is. Snakes don't drink milk. Snakes don't look like speckled bands. Clearly, the murdering animal was a small kitten. I'm fine with this mystery taking artistic license when it comes to snakes. The internet says Holmes fans like to argue over what kind of snake it is, since it has characteristics taken from various different species. It's certainly a memorable mystery solution, and the scene of Roylott threatening Holmes greatly increases the drama. I don't agree it's the best mystery of the book, but I can certainly understand why people argue it's in the top 3. I give Sherlock Holmes, The Adventure of the Speckled Band, a thumbs up.